Hello students, welcome to the wonderful world of English language classroom. Here we will learn to read, speak and write together and have a lot of fun. I am Meenu Gupta, English teacher with Directorate of Education, Delhi. This is Suhani with me. She will be representing our learners today. We have already completed part 1 of chapter 8, The Hack Driver by Sinclair Lewis from the supplementary reader of class 10, Footprint Without Feet. Now, let us continue with part 2, Objectives of the lesson. Now that we have gone through the lesson, I hope you have been able to read the short story, The Hack Driver, with the understanding, identify events, the main idea and the sequence of events. Appreciate the story, The Hack Driver and interpret the events and theme of the story and connect with your personal experiences. I hope all of you have read the chapter and watched the part 1 of this series, but if not, please go back and do so. However, I am still giving you a small summary of the story for your reference. This is an amusing tale about a young lawyer who is very innocent. He goes to a village to serve summons to a person called Oliver Lutkins. At the railway station, he meets a person who introduced himself as Bill. Bill told that he knew everyone in the village and promises to search Lutkins for the lawyer. They start from the Fritz shop, then check the Gustav's and Gray's barber shop. He takes the lawyer and visit lots of places, have lunch at Wade's Hill. Then they go to Oliver's mother's place in the north, who runs after them with an iron rod. But after a long search, they could not find Lutkins. Bill charges a lot of money from him. Next day, when the lawyer goes to the village with one of his colleagues, he came to know that the hack driver was Lutkins. Everyone except the lawyer was laughing at him and he felt ashamed of himself. I believe you have read the chapter and heard the summary carefully. That would have helped you recall the chapter. Now, complete the closed passage using the given textbook. Suhani, can you please help me in reading the words in the text box?
Colleagues, Lutkin, visit, witness, graduation, cheerful, New Milan, like, lawyer, summons, clerk, cunningly, embarrassed and laughing.
Great, Suhani. Now, I will read the passage line by line and Suhani will help us in completing it. This is a story of dash who after completing. This is a story of
a lawyer.
Great. Who after completing his
graduation.
Very good, Suhani. Started working with a famous law firm in the city. He was working as an assistant
clerk
there. Great. He did not
like
the job of serving summons because sometimes he had to face harsh situation. What are harsh situation? Bad situation. One day he had to give dash to Oliver Lutkins.
He had to give summons to Oliver Lutkins.
Right, Suhani. Who was a key dash in some case.
Key witness in some case.
Very good. He lived in a small village.
New Millions.
Right, Suhani. He was happy to go to the village, but the village looked very dull and lifeless. The narrator saw a hack driver on the platform who was
cheerful.
Right. He inquired him about
Oliver Lutkins.
Very good. And came to know he was a shrewd man and had taken loan from many people. The hack driver dash extracted from the lawyer?
Cunningly.
Very good, Suhani. Perfect. That he had come here to give court summon to Lutkin. He takes the lawyer and dash lots of places.
Visits lots of places.
Right. And takes a lot of money from him. But after a long search, they could not find Lutkins. Next day, when the lawyer goes to the village with one of his
Colleagues.
right, Suhani, he came to know that the hack driver was Lutkins. Everyone except the colleague was,
Laughing.
yes, everyone except the colleague was laughing at him and he felt embarrassed. Good work, Suhani. She is an attentive learner. I hope you are too. Now, I am going to recite some parts from the lesson. Please listen carefully and you will be able to see a picture game on your screen. Try to fill the boxes with appropriate information in the space provided. Please listen carefully. The narrator worked as an assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm in a city. One day, he has to go to New Mullions for serving summons to Oliver Lutkins. When he reaches there, he sees Bill, a hack driver. They both strike a deal and Bill takes him to various places in the city to search for Oliver. They start from the Fritz shop, then they check the Gustav's and Gray's barber shops. Later, they have lunch at Wade's Hill. Then they go to Oliver's mother's place, who runs after them with an iron rod. But after a long search, they could not find Lutkins and lawyer returns without serving summons. Bill charges a lot of money from him. Next day, when the lawyer goes to the village with one of his colleagues, he came to know that the hack driver was Lutkins. Everyone except the lawyer was laughing at him. I hope you have heard the lesson carefully. If not, you can go back and repeat the script. So, Suhani, let us start from the first box. So, what would be the answer for the first box?
Narrator works as assistant clerk in the city.
And after that, what he sees?
Bill, the hack driver.
Very good, Suhani. They both have a deal and
Bill takes him around the city.
excellent. She is an attentive listener. Are you? They start with
Fritz shop.
very good, Suhani. And after that, they visit
Gustav's and Gray's barber shop.
excellent. These are the two barber shops mentioned in the script. They go to Gustav's and Gray's barber shop. And then they have
Lunch at Wade's Hill.
very good. They have lunch at Wade's Hill and later they go to
Oliver's mother.
very good, Suhani. The narrator then
Returns back without serving the summons.
yes, they visit a lot of places but they return back without serving summons. And later
Next day, he finds hack driver is Oliver.
yes, the next day he discovers that hack driver himself is Oliver. Wow, what a brilliant learner we have with us. Good job. It's important that you praise yourself because you are worth it. Now, every chapter has little details which you need to pay attention. I want to say whether you were paying attention or not. If yes, please mark true and false. So, I am starting. Suhani, ready?
Yes.
Right. First, the narrator travelled 42 kilometers to New Mullions in a train. What do you think, Suhani? Is it true or false?
It is true.
No. See, this is the twist. It is true that he went to New Mullions in a train, but he travelled only 40 miles. You have to pay attention to all the details. Now, let us move on to second one. Lutkins was being served summons for cheating.
This
Suhani?
is true.
Wrong. he was being served summons to appear as a key witness. Let's be very careful to the details. Bill had a very cheerful appearance. True or false?
True.
Perfect. The next one. The lawyer was accompanied by a man familiar with Oliver Lutkins on his first trip to New Mullions. Right, Suhani? What do you think? It's true or false?
This is false.
Right. Bang on. He went alone the first time and he was accompanied with his colleague the second time. Now, to the fifth one. The name of a hack driver was Magnusson.
True.
Right. If you pay attention to the chapter, his name was Magnusson. Now, to the sixth one. They got their lunch from Bill's home.
This is also true.
Right, Suhani. Yes, he says it would be cheaper and they get lunch from Bill's home. Now, to the seventh one. Oliver's mother's farm was in the south direction.
False. It was in the north direction.
Right, I have mentioned in the summary as well, it was in the north direction. Now, to the eighth one. The narrator thought of settling in New Mullions after meeting Oliver Lutkins. Yes, Suhani, true or false?
I guess this is true.
Incorrect. The narrator was very impressed with Bill, but not with Oliver. He wanted to settle there earlier, but he was embarrassed later when he knew that Bill was Oliver himself. Alright, now to the next one. Oliver was able to make a fool of narrator with the help of Bill.
Yes, this is true.
Right. Oliver took the name of Bill and made a fool of the narrator. Very well done, Suhani. Now, to the 10th one. The narrator was a young, naive and a gullible person.
Yes, this is true.
Right, Suhani. Please pay attention to these three words. This will help you in build up the character sketch of the narrator. He was young, naive and gullible person. Now, the next question, Suhani, ready?
Yes.
Oliver or Bill was a smart and a cunning man who was able to turn every opportunity in his favor. True or
Again,
false?
this is true.
Right, Suhani, it's true. Awesome, Suhani, excellent work, I must say. You have been a great help. Let us move ahead and think and try to answer the following questions. You can see the questions on your screen as well. Do you think the lawyer was gullible? How could he have avoided being taken for a ride? Or the question can be asked as, Lutkins openly takes the lawyer all over the village. How is it that no one lets out the secret? Let me give you a small hint, Suhani. Notice that the hack driver asks the lawyer to keep out of sight behind him when they go into Fritz. Can you find other such subtle ways in which Lutkins manipulates the whole tour? Now, as we all know, it's a long question, but let us ask Suhani if she can give us some pointers.
Yes, the lawyer is gullible. He easily believes Bill when he meets Bill for the first time.
Very good, Suhani. Anything else?
The lawyer to keep out the sight behind him when they go out into any shop. He never tries to ask about Lutkins himself.
Very well done. Very important point in the lesson. He never goes first and asks about Lutkins himself. Anything else you can remember from the lesson, Suhani?
Yes, he did not gather any information or photograph about Oliver before coming to the village.
Very well pointed out, Suhani. Now, if you have any more pointers, my dear learners, you can add on. Now, I will be moving on to the next question. Do we come across such persons like Lutkins only in fiction, or do we encounter them in real life as well? You can give examples from fiction or narrate an interesting incident that you have read in the newspaper from or any incident from real life.
Yes, we see such people in real life too.
Where, Suhani?
Newspapers are full of such cases where innocent are duped of money, valuables or trusts.
Do you remember any such articles, Suhani?
Not really.
Not really. Truly said, Suhani, but please find, learners, please find one such article and complete the given question. You can point any article where there is some sort of theft, some sort of robbery, some sort of trust breach. We have many bank scandals that newspaper mention. All of them can be used in this article. Now, if you want to enjoy some more such fun stories, then some suggested readings are 1. The Questionable Cargo by Captain W.E. Johns. 2nd, My Last Dollar by Stephen Leacock, or Baron Bhomik's Ailment by Satyajit Ray. You can find all these stories on the net. Thank you so much and keep reading.